One. Hello and welcome to the Parkside School Fantasy Football Club. The club in front of me here have got some top tips for you today. And if you like and subscribe, this channel will grow and we'll give you more advice each week. So we're going to give you some top tips for fantasy football. All the dads out there that need some tips, we've got some good ones for you. So here we go. Jacob, when you start us off, what is your top tip?
Get defenders from teams that are always keeping clean sheets.
Okay, like Man City at the moment. Well done. I like that. Definitely. Abube, what's your top tip?
If there's someone in form, use them.
Excellent. If they're on form, keep putting them in. Maybe captain them even. Mr. T.
My top tip is to use 5 midfielders if you can.
Interesting. Excellent. If you can, always have 5 midfielders. Jack Palk.
Spend your money on your midfield. And if you have a midfielder that takes penalties, you want to captain them over a striker that takes penalties. They'll get more points.
Excellent. That's a very good tip. They get more points, a midfielder who takes penalties than a striker. George Short.
Don't go for price. Go for the people who are in form at the moment.
Very good. If you see someone like Antonio, Lingard, Souček, all scoring goals, all worth quite cheap. So well done. And finally, Ethan.
There must always be players who play on your bench.
Excellent. Always have players you got on the bench. Yeah, don't just put £4.5 million players who don't play. They've got to play. And finally, a tip from me, Mr. Gaynor, is going to be captain choice. The most important thing you can do each week. Don't always go for the most obvious choice. Sometimes go for the most second obvious choice. Also, don't go for a random one because it doesn't really pay off. For example, last week, I went with Fernandes rather than Salah. Salah just scored 2 goals, but I thought that Southampton wouldn't play well, had lots of players out. So I picked Fernandes instead, and he got 34 points. So don't always pick the captain that everyone's talking about who scored lots of points last week. Sometimes go for the second best option. Excellent. Thank you for listening. Wave, boys. Hey.